nice.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. That is so delicious.
Isn't that nice?
It tastes like apple crisp.
Hey everyone, it's me, Jason from Blog Norfolk, and I'm back with Cooking with Local. Today, I'm going to remind you about a specific local spring ingredient that is always ready for you in the spring and delicious, and that is apples. I'm going to be joined by a special guest today. We'll bring her in a second. So today we're going to be making apple donut bread pudding, which is delicious. The apple donut, this little baby, is the official donut of Norfolk County, available at the Apple Place in Simcoe. And while you're there, you should pick up some delicious apples. They've got a ton of different varieties. We've used 2 different varieties in our pudding today. And if you want to know a lot about apples and you want a friendly face to connect with, there's one person you should definitely see at the Apple Place, and that is my good friend, Lisa. Come on in here, Lisa.
All right.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, thank
Good.
you. Lisa does all the marketing for the Apple Place. Lisa and I have been friends for years. She and I usually do fair food videos together, so always take a look out for those. Those are super fun. But today we're talking apples. Lisa, you also brought us some apples.
I did bring some apples.
And which one are these, my dear?
These are ambrosias. These are my favorite.
This looks like it's straight out of like Snow White.
Doesn't it
like,
look perfect?
It's beautiful.
Yep, so these were harvested in the fall here in Norfolk County, and they are still fresh and delicious because we've had them stored away.
Yeah,
And they're,
you can feel it. They're cold.
I know,
They're
they
crisp.
just came out. Yep.
Like, that sucker's hard right there.
Yeah,
I tell you,
they're-
that's nice.
They're such a nice eating apple. These ones, I really love them because they hold their shape when you cook them. You can eat them raw. You can slice them, and they stay fresh for a little while. And
Perfect.
tasty and sweet and delicious.
And the best thing about the Apple Place is that you know you're buying local apples, number 1. And number 2, all the staff that work there know about every apple that's on the shelf. So if you want something for baking, they're going to be able to tell you which apple to get for baking. If you want something just for eating, they're going to know what's best for you or what's best for your kids too. Because sometimes we like a little bit of a tartar apple, and sometimes the kids want something a little sweeter,
Yep.
right? So you're going to be able to get a really good variety. So here's what the recipe calls for. It's super simple. Anyone can make it. You need 11 apple cider donuts. You can't use 12 because the 12th one is for you. I did that on purpose. Then you're gonna take 2 apples, rough chopped. You're gonna put everything into a bowl. You're gonna chop up the donuts as well. Then, super simple, a can of sweetened condensed milk. We're gonna pop this baby open. Pour this over.
Got it all.
6 years later, pour this over. The best thing about using the donuts as well is that the donuts are pre-seasoned. So, all of it is already seasoned for you. It has that beautiful apple donut flavor. So we're gonna give that a mix up in a second. But first, we're gonna get our dish ready. So I have this beautiful antique dish here that I got from Waterford Antiques Market. And I'm just gonna give it a spray. Just a light coating. Okay. While we're doing this, you can preheat your oven to 350 as well, because this is just gonna bake probably for about half an hour. So we're going to toss all of this together. You can use a spoon, especially now, health concerns. Use a spoon, get it all going. You want those donuts to really absorb that milk. Okay. We are gonna pack it into this mold and let it cook down. On the bottom of the mold, we are gonna do something special. We're just gonna put a little brown sugar and a couple nubs of butter, just so that melts up and caramelizes on the top, so it gives it a really nice crispy top. When we plunk this buddy out of here, it's gonna look delicious and caramelized. Now you can see everything's mixing up here. Perfect, perfect. Don't be afraid if you think it's a little dry to add more sweetened condensed milk or even just a little regular milk. So what I'll do is just take some regular milk, splash this on here, just to get it a little more moist. So maybe about half a cup, right? Depends on how fresh the donuts are. These are a couple days old, so they might need a little more moisture. We're gonna take our brown sugar, just gonna sprinkle it in the bottom of the mold here. Lisa's laughing at me because this brown sugar is a little clumpy, but you know, break it up with your hands. Expert tip, if your brown sugar is too hard and it's become like a brick in your cupboard, just pop it in the microwave for about a minute and it should loosen up. And then just keep going for a little extra 30 seconds if it's still not loose, right?
Can you put a soda cracker in it too?
You can put soda cracker in them. Some people put apples actually.
That's a waste of
Put a
apple.
slice of apple. I know, I wouldn't do it, but some people do.
Perfect.
Also a marshmallow works really well. One of those giant camping marshmallows, pop that in. And once it's absorbed all the moisture, you gotta chuck it out and put another one in. But it lasts usually for about 2-3 months. Okay, so we've got our brown sugar in here.
Delicious.
We're gonna slice up a quarter of a cup of butter. I'm just gonna rough chop this here. Real simple. Just into little squares.
Has the butter been out for a while, or is it cold?
No,
or-
the butter is pretty much room temp. It's a little on the cold side. It doesn't matter what temperature is it at this point because it's all gonna melt down. Right, so we're just gonna put this right in here, pop it in. It's also gonna add a lot of like moisture and richness to the cake, like to the pudding, which is gonna be really good as well.
You don't need to convince us that butter's a good idea.
So then we're gonna take our pudding mixture and we're just gonna place it into our mold. We're gonna push it down because it's okay if it's dense. That's what bread pudding is, super dense. All these beautiful apples in here are gonna add to the richness of this, gonna make it nice and fresh. Now I keep the skin on my apples because I love it when they caramelize down. Like if you're cooking them, the skin caramelizes and almost candies, and it becomes like this chewy little caramel, especially if there's some brown sugar in here, and it really makes it rich and delicious. But
And you also don't have to peel your apples.
yeah, then I don't have to peel the apples, which is also nice. Now, if you want a more refined dish, please take your skins off, but that's up to you. Okay, we're gonna pack that down. It's not gonna raise up while we're in the oven because it doesn't have any eggs in it. So nothing's gonna rise and everything's already been baked. So it's just gonna maintain its shape. If anything, it might actually shrink a bit. Okay, we'll go right to the top. If you have a little left over, put it in a muffin tin, right? Make a little muffin. Something good for the kids' lunches. Or your own. Or just a snack, right? So we're gonna take this, we're gonna put this in a 350-degree oven for 30 minutes. Once 30 minutes has passed, take the cake out of the oven. Look how it's all come together, it's all gelled. And we're gonna let it sit for 10 minutes, just so it firms up a bit. Then we're gonna flip it onto a plate, slice it, and serve it. All right, so once you're ready to turn this baby out, you're gonna take the plate, put it on top. You're gonna grip it, flip it, give it a little tap, and then lift it off. And there we are. Delicious, beautiful apple donut bread pudding. Let's give it a shot right now.
Yes.
Lisa, you down for this?
Yes, I am.
I got a fork here. You grab a fork. Lisa, you ready to get in on this?
Already.
Okay. If you let it cool, then you can slice it. But we are impatient. We are hungry. We know you want to know how this tastes. So let's get in. Get some of the apple.
Oh yeah. Oh no. It's still good. So good.
That'll do. That'll do.
It's not super heavy. Like it's
No.
still nice and light.
Not heavy at all. The donuts, because they're so airy, they really add to the lightness. And that evaporated milk just puts a little sweetness to it. It's not overly sweet.
Nope.
And you can see where the brown sugar has come down.
Yeah.
Delightful. She's going in and I'm happy about it. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this recipe. Make it at home for your family. Go and buy local apples. They're available 10 months of the year. So Lisa, we'll see you there. Go to the apple place. They're open 9 to 5, Monday to Saturday. Monday to Saturday. And thanks for joining us. As always, cook with local, and I'll see you flavor.